Hey everybody, it's me, about me. It's me, Sade. I'm just gonna talk about so if I have any more friends coming to this more people coming to this live stream, I'll let you know or I'll see. But I'm gonna be talking about how there's the problem in the art community because the problem in the art community is just you got a lot of people who get harassed for the littlest shit, for the littlest things. I miss the days where we could just. I miss the days where. Hello, Gulf Breeze. I'll see if I can invite you in. All right. The art community as a whole has been like you have to do better. The art community has to. I just hello. I'll just let you know if you want the link. Let me know to this stream. I'm just gonna be talking about the problems in the art community. The art community as a whole used to be. I mean, the problem with the art community as a whole is like, problem is the art community is starting to become toxic. Like, you got people who get harassed for saying the most, who get harassed for posting or saying something, posting something that was what? A mistake on their end, and then they get harassed from that. Anyone who's joining, if you want to join, I have the invite. The link is the link is like I have the link in my main server, but I don't know. I'm just saying I have it in my server and other servers if you want to join. Okay. Yeah. Morning. I'll be. I'm just saying, like, I'm just tired, okay? I'm just tired of the art community as a whole the art community harassing people for the most stupidest shit. For example, if they make a character's skin tone too light or they don't have any women or people of color characters. And you know why they say that? Oh, the reason why I don't have those women or person of color characters is because people like you get offended. And that's the problem. Like you get people like this who get harassed a lot. And it's starting to be sad, really. It's starting to be sad. It's sad to the point you can't even do. This is also why I rarely post my art on Twitter. Gulf Breeze says, I agree with you. There are so many artists out there who really talented artists who get harassed. Heck, even I remember a Japanese artist got harassed for trying to for quote unquote cultural appropriating um Native American art when they looked up they did the research about Native Americans, and that's what happened. Their art their art got they got a lot of hate from these people who were trying to be woke when and I remember Native Americans who also stood up for that artist. It's sad, really. We got artists in general who are just. You got so many artists who, in general, who, you know, pretty much, who just pretty much don't have any, who just don't want to post their art online or get worried about it because let's say they make a skin tone of a black character's skin tone too light. If it's 1% light, if it's 1% light, true fact, as a person who is part of the art community, I really agree, to be honest. Yeah, it's sad, really. You got people who get their art. And then you got people who fixes art in a way, like art fixers, those people who fix people's art and try to fix the character, like say that character should be this and that. Like I remember I know last year that there was a situation with the Knuckle with someone who was a white woman who made Knuckles black, who stole some artist's art and colored it and made the character black. They made the character black. When Knuckles is in Ekin, like they said, oh, Knuckles is black coded and stuff. Just because he's black coded doesn't mean you should do that. That doesn't mean you should do that. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that because that doesn't mean you should do that. Like, don't do that. Don't fix people's art without their consent. Like, for example, I always think Lucky the Rabbit from Dark Deception could be I don't know, Afro-European or Afro-Italian. Cause I made my version of Lucky the Rabbit and Hangry, and my version Lucky, Hangry, and let's just say Hangry, Lucky, what else? Penny the chicken as my version of what they would look like as humans. I have seen no one did that to me. It's like these art fixers really will fix someone's art because because it's not what I want it to be. When and it's sad really. You got some people getting harassed for saying making a black if you got people who get harassed for saying, "Oh, you made that character skin too light because their skin tone is black." The problem is you were shading in reference. You shade in reference and you should never have a shaded reference. You know why people say you should never have a shaded reference? Because if that skin tone is like lighter, you're gonna get they're gonna show what the character looks like. They're gonna draw what the character looks like in the shaded reference, but then you get mad at them. Like stop trying to harass these artists who work very hard on their art. You even got Japanese artists who get harassed for that. And then they don't want to make like for example, I remember this happened with a Pokemon character who was like, I don't know, they were black. I can't remember which one. It was a female, and she was apparently the Japanese artist had made their skin tone a little too light, and people were harassing that artist to the point that the artist actually had to delete that art and apologize. And when the artist and when it was when and when they did apologize, people were just still mad at them for that. And it just proves a point that, yeah, Nessa. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm referring to Nessa. Natalie or Natala Chaparo. Sorry if I butchered your last name. Butchered your name. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Nessa was, yeah. It was so many controversy because Nessa was, like, yeah, the Nessa situation was so bad. Like, you got people who were, making the skin tone a little. It's okay. You can call me Nat. Okay, Nat. I'll just let you know that I remember Twitter Pokemon is just Twitter on Pokemon. Yes, this was in Twitter. This was on Twitter when I saw so many artists on Twitter get harassed so much in the art community. It's like I remember when Tumblr was a thing. It's still a thing. It's a little dead, but it's still popular because of a lot of reasons. At least it's way better than Tumblr. I mean Twitter, I meant to say. Tumblr is way better than Twitter because at least the SJWs are gone. Heh. I remember there was an artist by the name. I remember this artist who almost committed almost endgame themselves because they made rose quartz skinny, and that pretty much proves a point that the art community hasn't learned from that situation. not to harass people to the point that they end themselves, then end game themselves. It's like artists online has been harassed so many times for something they did for little to no reasons. You got some artists who get harassed for saying, I don't know, saying for something they said when they were like little, when they were like little and stuff, because someone digged up what they said on a post on a on an old site or a post they did when they were like what 11 or 12 or 13, 14. And it's just sad, really. Some artists are really too scared to go on social. You got some artists who are too scared to make a black character because they're worried about the character, being their skin tone being too light. And I'm saying this as a black girl myself. Yes, I'm black. I just have a lighter skin tone. Before you say it, yes, I have a lighter skin tone. And it's just sad. Like, you can't even be an artist without getting harassed by certain people. I remember Croaky. I remember when Croaky was an artist on TikTok. They are a non-binary trans artist. They got harassed by somebody by TikTokers because their art style was like, oh, too simple, was not what they wanted. What they wanted. They were aware and they didn't want to get any criticism. I mean, art styles are different. Like they had. I'll invite them. I'll invite you here. I'll add to the stream.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Golf.
Hey.
I'll invite them. I'll invite you here. Okay. I'll add to the stream. Yeah, I'm talking about how artists in general, the art community as a whole, has been really messed up, both on Twitter and other social medias. For example, let me tell you about a person named Croaky. Croaky is a non-binary trans artist. They used to be a fan of Dream SLP until, some people were harassing them for their art style. And they went as far as to make false assumption towards them. For example, accusing them being racist because some fake screenshot has been going around of them saying the N-word.
Oh my goodness.
When I heard, and they said that, hey, I didn't say that. Someone was, and then they falsely accusing them of making a not safe for work art when Croaky didn't make that shit.
Oh my god.
And this is on TikTok. They no longer on TikTok anymore because of what people did. They haven't learned. I'm like, y'all haven't learned shit. I said the Croaky situation is a proof that people haven't learned from the fucking Rose Quartz situation.
Yeah.
I said y'all haven't learned shit from the Rose Quartz situation.
Yep. That's how far people will go to call out someone.
Yeah, and also they were trying to accuse, Croaky of whitewashing a cookie run character as a human.
Cookie.
A cookie run character. I think it was that one. I can't remember. It was one of those cookie. I can't remember which one it was. Because they were accusing them of whitewashing a cookie run character.
It's literally just a cookie run character. It's a fictional cookie.
Yeah, like they don't have skin tones. They're cookies.
They're literally just fictional cookies.
Like if you make them human, they don't have to have. They can have a skin tone. They don't have to be like what they are.
Yeah.
I understand cookies that have lighter skin that are lighter, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Like sugar cookies.
Yeah.
Like if you get mad, like not to mention the cookie run fandom is just really tough. It's just really a dumpster fire. Every time you make a human version of a cookie run character, they'll be mad at you because you're whitewashing a cookie.
Jesus. I mean, you're literally just cookies. Cookies come in very many variations.
Yeah, and then you wonder why people don't want to make a black character because of people like you who harass. And I know most of these people who do this are mostly white people. white
Yeah.
people who are just trying to talk over minority groups.
Yeah.
I understand there are certain black people who does this, but that's pretty. I don't think it's pretty rare, to be honest.
Hmm.
Pretty rare for a black person to But we only know what's racist and what's not racist. I don't think I don't think making a cookie character human is racist.
Yeah. Me neither.
I remember, if you remember, I made my own version of the Dark Deception characters,
Hmm.
Lucky the rabbit, Hangry the pig,
Yeah.
and Penny the chicken. And I think I made my version of Lucky the rabbit was a I guess Afro European, because he has an Italian accent,
Hmm. All right.
or Afro Italian. I don't know how you do it.
I
Afro
don't know how to
European.
pronounce that either.
And with Hangry, I thought of him as black because he has a he has a gruffy voice and stuff.
Okay.
When I think of that gruffy voice, I think of someone a black person a little angry.
Yeah.
But I'm black myself.
I mean, I'm half black myself.
Really?
Yeah. I'm mixed race. My dad is
Yeah.
white and my mom is black.
Yeah. And it's just really sad. You got people who think it's justifying to harass Croaky is okay, and they also got mad at Nani for defending Croaky and saying, "Oh, where was Nani when Blacktober was when artists were getting harassed in Blacktober?" Like she's white. She can't always talk for black people
Yeah.
because people like you are the reason why the art community has been going downhill lately.
Yep. Looking at you,
As
Twitter.
it's not even Twitter, it's TikTok
Yeah.
who harassed Croaky.
Yep.
Croaky, because they want to make Croaky look like a joke. Croaky, when Croaky had to delete their Twitter, they had to also reactivate their Twitter account to avoid somebody trying to take their user handle and try to make some fake,
Yeah.
a fake account impersonating them and saying really offensive shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, it just proves a point that the art community will do anything to be, either it's SJWs or just the art or
Yeah.
people or just or people in the art community who just want to make the art community look like crap.
Yeah.
You got so many artists who get their art who get their art, who get their art fixed.
Yeah. In fact, as I said before, this is why I rarely post any of my art on Twitter because I'm just afraid of being canceled.
Like it's just trains, for
I
what I
mean,
know.
just it's also heavy tree. It's also heavy tree friends characters and logos, along with some mascots and cartoon characters too.
Yeah, it's just I you got people who make furry characters
Yeah, I
and they
make
don't
furry characters.
and and no one gets. I mean, I know the furry fandom a political stuff, some political
Yep.
stuff right there,
Hmm.
but that's like different
Hmm.
because how certain furries are.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm a furry myself. It's just really sad that you got so many characters. You got so many people who get mad over somebody getting mad over making a like if you make a black character skin tone a little too light, they'll harass you.
Like, yep. There have been many cases of that.
Yeah, it happens so many times that so many artists that get harassed for making a black character skin tone too light.
Just for that. Straight up for that.
Like look what happened to like look when like it happened so much that there was an incident, like I told you, there was an incident about Nessa,
Hmm.
a Pokemon character, a Pokemon human character, a
Hmm.
Pokemon trainer who got
Yeah,
people were mad at her, were mad at a certain many artists who actually made their skin tone too light,
yeah, all for that.
and then thought it was whitewashing. When whitewashing is when making a skin, the difference is whitewashing is like making a skin tone. You're making a skin tone a little lighter,
Yeah.
like white,
Hmm.
like Caucasian skin. But
Yeah.
it's if you're shade and tints, yeah, that's different. Shades and tints is different because they have these Twitter artists have to realize that there's something called shades and tints.
Yeah. Like, did you not know that shades and tints exist?
Yeah, like you had to you either had to learn this in school.
Hmm.
You could- I don't know what grade you had to learn this in school, possibly middle or high school, possibly elementary.
Yeah, like I think I learned this like elementary and middle school.
Yeah, like do you guys not understand shades and tints?
Yeah. Like, do you not know that they exist?
Yeah, they exist. Like skin tones, human skin tone is not like what?
Yeah.
Oh, like there are people out there who have to shade and tints, have to do shade
Mhm.
and tints because it has to look accurate to the what?
It's the character.
Either accurate to to their surroundings.
Yeah.
You got some who do black shades, who do
Yeah.
all black shades because,
Hmm.
it's more maybe it's more simple.
Yeah.
And you got some who do different types of shades
Hmm.
because I guess it's a stylish choice.
Yeah.
You got so many artists, and sometimes they either. I remember there was one time when there was a. I remember this Owl House artist. This there was an artist on Owl House. This was back in 2021.
Hmm.
That there was an Owl House artist on Twitter that had to leave Twitter because get this, guess what happened? They
What?
were making they had because they made BDMS art of the characters from Owl House. And it was those it was one of those couples, those
Yeah.
sapphire couples. It was like I don't want to call the lesbian couples. It was the black and black. I don't know which one. It was either there was a black one, the black and white one. One of them had the collar,
Hmm.
and it was the white one. I can't remember their names precisely.
I think their names are Gus and Amity, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they were. One of them was holding the collar.
Hmm.
That was the white one, and the other one was had the collar
Hmm.
was holding.
Hmm.
One of them was holding the the leash. The other one was holding the collar.
Hmm.
The other one was in a collar on a collar, and people thought that was racist,
Jesus.
all because of that. And it was so bad that the artist had to leave Twitter. Had to leave Twitter permanently. And their art was pretty awesome.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there are racist people out there, but that artist wasn't even racist. That was just, romance.
Yeah.
You you can't tell people, you can't tell unless they were saying racist shit. I don't think they were because it was just love.
Yeah.
And then you just wonder why people don't want to make those artists, those art.
Yeah.
And then they wonder, and that's the problem with the whole art community. You do something, you make something that is like there was a picture I saw where a person said, "Here's my new character. How come you don't make a person of color or a woman? Because every time I do, people you get offended."
Hmm.
and that's sad, really.
Yeah,
What you were,
that's
what you
extremely
were gonna,
sad.
what you were gonna say before I interrupted you?
You know, like that's extremely sad.
Yeah, it's just sad that you got so many artists who want to become artists, but they're too scared to make their own characters because they worried about offending, Twitter.
Yeah,
And I said that Tumblr is no longer like Twitter, no longer what it used to be. It's still people say it's dead, but I don't think it's dead inherently.
yeah.
People
Sure,
say it's
Tumblr's still pretty active from what I've heard.
yeah. It's just it's no longer what it used to be like those people want to blame. I just hope like some people say they hate Tumblr because they got rid of the porn when I heard it was actually another site another it was mostly the staff members' fault because they didn't want to because they wanted to get rid of the porn instead of just I don't know. It's just the problem is that the staffs it's the site is just the problem is the site is just pretty much the problem is that you got some big tech companies who just don't want to
Yeah,
stop porn bot blogs and other porn bots and other things.
yeah. I mean,
And like it's a big problem on YouTube and on
hmm
YouTube as well
hmm
and Instagram.
yep.
Like I don't know why they can't do that instead of just trying to ban people for what? I mean, people do be trying to report these channels,
Yep,
report these accounts, but guess what happened?
they get terminated.
I think they do get terminated, but it's hard. But sometimes it doesn't always work,
Yeah,
and it's just proves like people want to blame Tumblr for the reason why Twitter is like this when it's not actually true. I think there were gonna be. I think Tumblr was already gonna be. I don't think you should blame Tumblr for the reason why Twitter is like a dumpster fire. I think Twitter was already a dumpster fire
yeah. Sure, was already a dumpster fire for the.
because of politics and stuff before
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
and the whole see child exploitation material on there
yeah.
as well. This was like before, because I heard that I knew about the situation. The situation was it was rampant back in 2014 on Twitter,
hmm
and I don't believe Twitter is like I don't believe Tumblr is the reason why SJWs exist.
Yeah,
Because that's just what I believe Tumblr was. I believe Tumblr was just the tip of the iceberg for SJWs. SJWs possibly were around before you know
yep,
Tumblr was a thing.
yeah.
We just didn't see it.
You just didn't see it. You just didn't. Just brush them off.
And look at it and look where we are now.
Yep.
Do I agree that Tumblr is a bad site? No.
No, I don't.
At least it was way better than certain sites that we are in, like Facebook and
Yeah.
like and Instagram.
hmm
Because I read some people just don't like using Facebook a lot. People say, "Oh, why you use if you don't like Facebook? Why are you using Instagram still, even though Facebook owns Instagram?" When that's different. I think Instagram was his own independent company.
Yeah, it was put out by Facebook.
Yeah, it was bought by Facebook back in what?
I think 2019 or 2020.
This was I. This was like before then.
hmm
I think it was bought back in what the 2010s, somewhere around the 2010s.
Yeah, like 2019, 2018 maybe.
In the 2010s, I think it was like what
Um,
2000.
um,
That's I really do hope that, like I just say, like people say, the internet's no longer a wild wild west, a wild
Yeah,
west.
yeah.
Some people blame it on, blame it
They
on some people blame it on SJWs, or when I believe it's just I believe the reason why the internet's no longer, and somehow the art community has sometimes to be stupid though. I have been in
yeah.
the art community according to Nate Nat, and somehow the art community can be sometimes stupid though.
Mhm.
I have been in the art community since 2015 or something, and the
I've been
community is
I've
still
been in
as
the art
worse.
community since
So
2016, 2017.
I think I've been in the art community for like what,
I,
since a lot. I know I started drawing at when I was 10 or 11.
I started drawing when I was like 5 or 6.
I started drawing at first. I didn't draw that much as a kid, but I started draw when I was like a young kid,
I
like,
drew a lot as a kid.
but I started drawing a lot more when I was like, I think it started early as 9, but when I started officially drawing was 10 or 11.
I drew a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, I the problem is that the art community and the community is still as worse than I thought. A point, now it says this.
Hmm.
I mean, Nat said this,
Hmm.
and somehow the art community can be sometimes stupid though. I have been
Yeah,
in the art community since 2015 or something, and the community has been still worse than I thought. For me, I think I joined the art community somewhere in 20. I officially joined the art community on Twitter in 20. I think in 2019. Okay, this is what Nat said. And I have been drawing since I was like 6, and I don't know. I became insecure. I've been insecure about my art lately. Her art, her art style lately. Their art style lately. I'm just using them they pronouns because I don't want to offend them. Because it's just I don't mind the art. Like the art community, in my opinion, has been hurting. I mean, there are so many artists out there who want to thrive and create and grow.
yeah.
You got
Right.
some artists who have to either go on Instagram, and I heard Instagram art is not as good,
Yeah,
not a good place. It's not as good
yeah,
because I know you be hearing about the story about the in how in nah, it's okay. Okay. All right. I just
yeah,
want to let you know that Instagram is just as worse than Twitter, and like you got so many people who say DeviantArt used to be a place where you can. I heard for what I heard, rumor has it that I heard rumor that Buzzly Art is, if this is true, I hope Buzzly Art fix this crap. That Buzzly Art is supporting pedophiles.
he's
And if that's true to some extent, that's sad. That's sad. And if
yeah.
that's because I was reading a something about what happened, but I think that was just, possibly something like that.
I think
Now I'm just gonna say this, like, you got so many artists who have to find you got so many not safe work artists who have to find places to, make their not safe work art besides Twitter, because the problem is Twitter will get offended if you draw something that's not okay in their book.
Like that's not okay in their eyes.
What you say?
Like that's not okay in their logic.
What was that again? What was it?
Like that, like they draw something like that's no okay in their logic.
Yeah, that's just sad, really. Even though there are so many not safe work artists that do still make not safe work art, and the problem is that in order to get your art, recognized on Twitter, is like you have to do suggestive art and have sometimes you have to do suggestive art or sometimes art that looks similar, that looks, I don't know. You got so many artists out there who get harassed.
Yeah,
Let's just say, like, you got the only time you can be famous on Twitter if you draw. I don't know how you get famous on Twitter if you just draw. If your art is like low effort, for what I heard,
oh
or draw something that's more popular or something.
yeah,
Sometimes you even have to draw comics or something like that.
yeah.
And that's the saddest part about being a Twitter of becoming popular.
That's
Oh, trust me. Oh, trust me. Twitter is the weirdest place for to post art, and most of the not-safe work artists are minors themselves. Yeah, I
yeah.
heard. You got so many minors that draw not-safe work art. You got people who are like not-safe work artists who are adults telling them, "Hey, that's not okay. That's not okay. Don't do this. You're
Mhm.
gonna get yourself groomed and shit."
Yeah,
And that's the problem. That's the problem. If someone say, "Do not interact if you are a minor," and you got minors interacting with not safe work artists with not safe work artists accounts or following their accounts,
I mean,
and the not safe work artists will block them. Will block them.
hmm
And that's why I say kids shouldn't be allowed on. That's why people say you got people out there saying kids shouldn't be allowed on social media. I
yeah,
only agree if they are like under 13. Wait, I only agree if the art style is like what? If the artist, it just, and it happened to a person by the name of Juicy Zone who for making not safe for work related stuff with Birdie. Oh God.
oh
I know
dear.
about that Birdie. I know about that Birdie girl. Well, Birdie dude now. Birdie dude. Birdie became famous because of a controversy they've been through. A lot of controversies. I think
Oh,
Birdie since then, they have been since then. They now nowadays since they can't go on the computer nowadays because of. I think I heard it's because their family members found out they were a trans man. They came out as trans and grounded them off the computer. All because and besides all the other stuff, and they don't believe in like medicine and therapy.
oh,
Yeah, that's sad, really. If your parents like that. I heard rumors that Bertie's family are anti-vaxxers, and if that's
hmm,
true, that's just sad.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Bertie needs the help they need, but it's people like her family who wouldn't let them get them the help they need because they don't believe in that, and they wonder why children. And I believe people want to blame social media. I blame it's I think it's because they became famous through a controversy. This reminds me of a lot like Puppy Chan.
hmm
Cause Puppy Chan and Birdie both got something in common. They both became famous by controversies at a very young age. And when Puppy Chan became famous, she got through a lot of controversies.
oh dear.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Some families are like that. Yeah, it just really goes to show that blood isn't always the case.
yeah.
I mean, my families are, my families are, some of my family members are pieces of shit. You got some family, I have so many family members that just cause pettiness, that just does petty crap. And that's coming from a person that, yeah, that, oh yeah, that Puppy Chan person.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. Puppy Chan, in my opinion, both Puppy Chan and Birdie are both got something in common. They both became famous because of a controversy. In my opinion, Puppy Chan should have never became famous because of a controversy, because of the controversy they were in.
Yeah.
Because I felt like something was not, something told me deep down they're gonna become like Birdie,
Hmm.
and I was right. Because
Hmm.
apparently, according to somebody, they actually been suicide baiting since 2017.
Jesus.
Puppy Chan. Puppy Chan is a well-known artist on Twitter because they became famous because of the Antoon situation. Is that water?
No, I think it's just my parents' laptop.
Oh, yeah. And I agree with that part. The part where I said that that people like Puppy Chan, like Birdie and Puppy Chan, that Puppy Chan and Birdie shouldn't have became famous because of a controversy they've been through and they were young,
Yeah.
because fame can actually affect you. That's why, do you know why people say they don't want kids becoming famous at a very young age?
Yeah.
Because they don't, because sometimes kids can't handle fame like that.
Yeah.
And then once they're in controversy after controversy, it's just gonna make people make or either get concerned by them or just mock them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the whole community. Like, I know the animation meme community was like, I know it's still a
Hmm.
thing,
Yeah.
but with Bernie became famous through a controversy, while Puppy Chan became famous through a controversy between Antunes and them. And I
Hmm.
think and they were 17 when this all happened. Puppy Chan and Birdie both got something in common. They both became famous by a controversy, and
Yeah.
they were young.
Yep.
Birdie is what? I don't know how old Birdie is. I think they're 17 now.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're 17, and and Puppy Chan is now 19.
Hmm.
But they're still suicide baiting
Hmm.
and acting like a fool.
Hmm.
Like, it's really sad, really.
Hmm.
Like, that's why I think the that's why I say kids shouldn't become famous at a very young age.
Yeah.
Because you get kids like this who become famous through a controversy, and then bad shit happens.
Yep.
It actually I know it depends on the kid. Like Croaky became famous because because they were harassed by Croaky was harassed by people on TikTok.
Hmm.
And they didn't, and at least for them, they didn't go like crazy and shit. They didn't do like crazy shit like Birdie, like what
Hmm.
Birdie and or Puppy Chan did.
Yeah.
Cause Croaky, I believe Croaky is just different. Croaky was like 17. I think they're 18 now.
Hmm.
They could be still 17, but their birthday is like what? Could be still around.
Hmm.
And it's just sad, really. You got, and I'm telling you, it was on Croaky. You got so many artists on. You got so many artists. You got so many people in the community that was talking about how Croaky was harassed by these people online.
Yeah.
I probably 18, I think. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Hmm.
I hope Croaky and Croaky. I'm following Croaky on Instagram, and I'm on their Discord.
Hmm.
And their Discord is pretty awesome.
Hmm.
They're pretty nice.
Hmm.
It's just people who that's why they're no longer active on TikTok
Hmm.
because of that shit. And
Yep.
that's why I say I don't want to be. That's why I say people don't want to be artists on TikTok
Hmm.
because you got kids and they got harassed because not to mention they also got harassed because they used to like the Dream SAP, one of the Dream SAP people,
Oh.
and they got harassed. Oh, they were accused of being racist and because some fake screenshots that were shown.
Jeez.
And this proves a point that TikTok is just as bad as other social medias.
Yeah.
You got so many people who said we should get rid of TikTok, and do I? I don't know if I. Part of me thinks like we should get rid of TikTok, but part of me thinks we shouldn't get rid of TikTok.
Yeah. Like, part of me thinks we should, but another part of me thinks.
What do you say?
Part of me thinks we should get rid of TikTok, but another part of me thinks no.
Because you got people who really want to be. I feel bad for artists though. People are very stupid these days.
Yeah.
Shake my head. SM.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's sad really that you got artists in this community. Yeah, because I remember someone said that the artists they were just then you got so many people who just treated Croaky like a child. Like they treated Croaky like he was a worse well, Croaky like they were the worst. Like they were the worst. They were worse than like they were worse than somebody. They were worse because they made false assumption towards this person. They made false accusation, made false evidence towards this person. And this proves the point that
Hmm.
TikTok isn't always a good site.
Yeah.
You got so many artists. Like somebody said that I know TikTok, but in the end, it's not like Vine.
Hmm.
The difference between Vine and TikTok was Vine. At least Vine wasn't. At least people weren't harassed. Was getting harassed by
Hmm.
people on. At least you didn't get edgy kids.
Yeah.
You didn't get edgy kids on that site
Yep.
because I'd be hearing what what's going on TikTok. You get edgy TikTok kids who say a lot of shit about a person online.
Yep.
And it's sad, really, that you got TikTokers. I just don't want to be like, you know what?
Mm.
It's just sad, really. You got TikTokers called. You got people, and then I remember one time I had to deal with someone who was hating on Croaky, saying that Croaky was a child. They were saying that it was justified that Croaky should have got her deserved to get harassed and doxxed. Like Croaky was threatened by was like do they have any proof that Croaky was harassed and doxxed when they said that Croaky said themselves that they were someone threatened to dox and her threatened to dox them.
Ooh.
And keep in mind, Croaky is a trans non-binary artist. And I was like, if you do that to someone that's trans, you could get them at risk of getting kicked out of their house.
Yeah.
And then you make me you and you want to call them racist because they're oh, they used to like the Dream SAP fans. They used to like Dream SAP, the Dream SMP. But
Sheesh.
they stopped liking it because of people calling them racist and shit.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. As much as people may not like Dream fans and stuff,
Yeah.
Dream fans and stuff, at least they won't. At least I think Croaky wasn't like those insane ones.
Mhm.
It just proves a point that they just want to harass a child. They want to harass someone that's almost 18, and they could have easily got kicked out of the house early.
Yeah.
Threatening to dox them because they said this and that without and making false evidence. And making false evidence towards a person you don't like on the internet is
Yeah.
it's very illegal.
Yeah.
Croaky is like what? They're now I don't know, judging by I just hope Croaky they're no longer active on TikTok because of the harassment. True. Yeah, Nat. I agree.
Yeah.
TikTok, in my opinion, is not a good place for artists because they treat artists like shit there.
Yeah.
You got so many artists. Not to mention
Yep.
they were falsely accusing Croaky of making not safe work art of Dream when they don't do not safe work art.
Yeah.
Sister 19 LOL online. What?
What?
It's made by this Alex person. It's Alex Heist person. I'm seeing my comments, Nat, and there was this person by the name of Alex Heist who's saying this word. I don't know if it's a bot or something, because they have a account. They have their profile for pic is blank, and it's yeah. I have a I have a question regarding to the Nat. Probably a bot or a troll. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
possibly a bot or a troll.
Yep.
I guess I have a question regarding the Nate that person. Did they I wonder if they found my stream while looking it up, or if they followed me, or they're following me, or they're watching, subscribe to me on YouTube. I don't know, because it could be one or the other.
Hmm.
If they are, because I think I've seen this. I don't know if I've seen this person before. This Nat person. Either if they're following me on certain social medias, on different social medias, or subscribe to me on YouTube, or it's just or just followed or just saw my 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 live stream before, and I'm kind of new, so
Hmm.
according to Nat, okay, you're you're fine. Love your profile for pic, Nat. My my profile for pic is a pig crew avatar.
In my profile pig is the logo for the London Midland and Scottish Railway.
Yeah, I see. I mean, they're trains. Like, no one is gonna get offended over trains.
Yeah, it's literally just one of the big four railways in Britain.
Yeah. Thanks. Yours is good.
Yeah, I love the LMS.
Yeah, if you're seeing that person's comments
Yeah.
or nah. Are you seeing her comments or nah?
Mm, no,
Seeing their
not
comments?
really. Check.
Yeah. Yeah, because they really are nice.
Mm-hmm.
They are a nice person.
Yeah.
I don't know how old they are, but judging by their age, I think they could be around 13 or 13, 14,
Yeah.
possibly older,
Yeah.
because their art style is just so good on the profile for pick, judging by
Mm-hmm.
their profile for
Yeah.
pick. I think they, and I know Steam Yard is just making it slow, you
Yeah.
know, when I get the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's possibly, it's possibly I think they're a kid or a teen, judging by kid or a teen.
Yeah.
Maybe an adult. I don't know how old they are. I don't want to be, because I draw really good. I just don't. I haven't done much. I have been thinking about doing streaming. I've been thinking about streaming while I'm drawing,
Mm-hmm.
while
Yeah.
drawing,
Yeah.
while I'm doing my art on this while streaming.
Yeah.
Either on Twitter, on either on YouTube or another site called Picago, I don't know how you pronounce it.
I don't know you pronounce it either.
Yeah, it's an art. It's a site where you can stream yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Stream yourself doing art.
Mm-hmm.
What- I don't have any. Oh, eyes. The eyes emoji. I wonder if they have any other social medias. If they do, I wouldn't be. I would definitely follow them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The difference is, I just like how they're nice and stuff.
Yeah. Or
Luckily, I have my Tik. To be honest, TikTok is like. Don't get me wrong. I believe artists who start out small. It's okay for artists who start out small and work their way up.
yeah.
Like, yeah, there are small artists out there that still, struggling to get followers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not their fault. It's usually the algorithm. Yeah, because for example, I know Twitter is the example. Instagram algorithm is really weird. Twitter and algorithm is just really weird. For me, Twitter's algorithm is way worse than Instagram's algorithm. With Instagram's algorithm, you have to in order to get something, in order to get your art to be good, in order to get, popular on Twitter, get popular on Instagram, you have to keep posting every day or something like that. Or is it something like that? You gotta keep posting your art.
Mm-hmm.
Or the problem is you got reposters or usually it's accounts that repost people's art without their consent.
Mm-hmm.
For example, do you know there's so many art reposters and comic reposters? You got people who get their comics repost that
Yeah.
they either leave their comic repost without their consent, that either they leave and sometimes they don't even get much views.
Uh-huh.
And they say, "Oh, we're giving artists what we want, what they want."
Hmm.
You know, it's what's it called? It's called like, "Oh, we're giving them exposure."
Hmm.
But the problem is sometimes they do put some of the sometimes they don't even give credit to the artist. They'll don't give credit to the artist's name. They'll say
Hmm.
credit to the artist,
Hmm.
DM for credit,
Hmm.
and they'll have the credits down to the down to their description. And sometimes the artists do say, "Hey, I don't want my art reposted without my sometimes they say without my consent."
Hmm.
Oh God, yeah, those reposters are annoying as hell. I have seen a lot of them, and it happens, and that happened to my other friend last year. Oh wow, I'm sorry if you're. I hope your friend got their account, their art. I hope you solved that problem. I hope that problem has been solved because there are so many art reposters out there. It's just ridiculous on Instagram. It's just sad.
Hmm.
Like sometimes I see something that's like sometimes I see a really good art. Sometimes it's really usually sometimes the I see a really good comic and get this. It's reposted by someone else's art, by someone else's comic. And I'm like, "What?"
Hmm.
I got so upset. Like it's just really sad. And then they say, "Oh, but we're giving them exposure." But then I remember there was this comic there was a one comic artist who used to be on Instagram a lot, but they left Instagram because their comic kept getting reposted,
Hmm.
even if they said, "Hey, don't repost my comics,"
Yeah.
and they left Instagram, and you still got reposters who repost their comics to this day, even they left Instagram. Like it's just the problem with Instagram. The problem is Instagram doesn't even has a repost problem. They should fix that. I understand they can try to report it, but the problem is Instagram's you know report system can be sometimes shoddy. In other words, it can be a hit or miss.
So, all right. I gotta go now. Bye.
Right, I'll see you. Yeah, that was my friend. I'll live streaming until I'm really tired or I'm seeing something up. Yeah, it's just sad that we got reposters on this site. You know, reposters, in my opinion, are just the reason why people don't want to draw or too scared to post their art online. And then you got artists who are not from who don't even have an Instagram, get their art posted on Instagram. And it's sad to the point they'll say, "Hey, I didn't ask for my art to be reposted." They'll either have to keep reporting it until there'll be more reposters until it gets boring and stuff. Until it gets starting to get annoying and then they give up and shit. It's just sad.